Good morning, everybody. I just wanted to start off this video this morning. We're going to be finishing up the insulation on the windows. This morning I woke up and all my windows were really frosted up. I do have a Mr. Buddy. I try not to use it as much as possible. It's not that cold out yet. I think it was -8 last night, which isn't bad at all. I will put in the description what it is in Fahrenheit. I'm really bad for that, so I do apologize. I was totally warm last night. I didn't even have my sleeping bag on me. I had thrown it off and moved to the back by the doors and just had a blanket and a duvet on me, and Wilson popped up, and the way he was laying, I couldn't get the sleeping bag up, and I slept through the night, and I was not cold at all. So the only time that it's a little bit nippy is when I get up in the morning and I have to start the van to get it warmed up. By the time that happens, the heat's going and I get dressed really quick, and it's not very long that there's that chill point. And if I am cold, I'll just sit in the front seat with a blanket around me or something. So it's working for now, but I think once it gets to minus 30, 40, even 48, I'm gonna want that insulation on the windows all the way around. I was thinking maybe not putting it in the kitchen area or by those doors over there, because I do like to have my windows. I like to see what's around me. I like the open feeling, but at the same time, come minus 30, 40, even 50, I'm gonna wish that I had them on there for that extra insulation. So I'm gonna get that done. Now, what I noticed with my Reflectix was I got the thinner, cheaper kind of yoga mats. You get what you pay for, right? Now, if I'd gone and gotten the thicker, foamier kind, which would have been way better, it cut my price in half for the 5 yoga mats that I picked up. So if I'd gotten those ones, I think they run about $25, $26 just for one, and I needed 5, so I opted out and got the cheaper ones. In hindsight now, maybe I should have spent the money and gotten the thicker, foamier ones. So anyone that's doing this, spend the money and get the thicker, foamier ones. I think they would have stuck better. They're lighter weight, maybe not so much lighter weight, but I am gonna have to tape them because the weight of the rubber will not stay in the windows. They kind of bow in the center and then end up falling out. So I'm gonna go get some, I'm not sure if I'm gonna get duct tape or if I'm gonna get Gorilla Tape. I find the Gorilla Tape is thicker, but it also has a tendency after a while. Now, this was in the summertime, so I'm not, if it was the heat of the sun, melted the glue, and that's why it came down. But is the cold effect going to have the same? And I know with the duct tape, I've used it before. I've only recently bought Gorilla Tape. It stays. It seems to stay. So I'm not sure. Maybe the price will determine on what I get as well. Things are so expensive these days. So we'll just play it by ear on that. So that's where I'm off to now. Yesterday, I basically just spent the day with Wilson. Because I was sick for those 2 weeks. He didn't get out a lot, and when he did get out, it was just on his tow rope. So he never got, he got a few walks, but they were very, very short walks. I found even if I went to the back of my van, that I was getting weak, and it was the strangest illness I ever had. I know my medical stuff, and this was all over the place. It was just weird, and it took me a long time to get on my feet, and I never ever get sick. I'll go through the vitamins that I take with you guys on another video, and just certain things that I seem to do, but I never seem to get sick. So for me to get sick and sick for that long, it was a rough ride. But I'm feeling so much better now, 90% better. My strength has come back. I'm not coughing as much, and just not weak at all. Like, I get a little bit weak at times, but not anything like it was. So now I've got lots that I want to get done. There's so much that when you're living in your van and you're building it out, like I showed you the other day, you have to move everything. I cheated. I went and got a coffee today. I just didn't, for time's sake, I didn't feel like I wanted to sit and move 5 or 6 things to the back and then get out my stove and do all that kind of stuff, which isn't that bad. That part's not that bad, but it's moving everything to get to be able to get to a spot where I can set up everything, do my thing, dismantle everything, put it all away, and then put everything back. That after a while, I've been doing this since March, and it's been a slow process. I'm so much farther ahead, but at the same time, after a while it just gets old because you just want everything in its place, so things are a little bit more simple, and it's a hassle after a while. So just even trying to get to my sugar in the bottom, one of my subscribers mentioned that I should keep the drawers in, which is a great idea. It holds everything in, but it doesn't give me the height. And it also, if Wilson's laying there, and because I've got that stool there right now, and just things are just not organized, I have to move him just to be able to get the drawer open. And after a while, in my pots and pans or whatever I want, or if I need the sugar or whatever, it just gets to a point where it's a deterrent, and it gets old really, really quick. You just want simplicity, and in the small space you need simplicity. So getting back to yesterday, I did take the day off. I spent the day with Wilson. We went for some walks. He had some mom time, and he was able to play with some dogs. He hasn't been at the daycare at all. So today is Mom's Day. We get to do the insulation on the windows. Now, those mats that I have, I'm going to have to tape them up, but I don't think it'll be that time consuming. I'm not really sure. I think the biggest part of it is cutting it out. That small window by where I'm going to be putting the stove, I'm going to do a makeshift insulation in there, because if I have my Mr. Buddy going or cooking, I need a window open, and if these curtains are drawn, then I'm going to need that airflow. So that's another thing that's thrown into the mix. There's always things thrown into the mix. So I want to get this floor done. This is driving me nuts. I want to get this floor done between the 2 seats, so I can put my cooler here. Also, I think the cooler will secure this seat a little bit more, because Wilson's a big boy, and if he jumps up on it, he seems to slide it back. So I either have to have the cooler secure it, or I'm going to have to put some kind of frame trim in the front so it doesn't slide forward. I have to move that big pillow to the back whenever we drive around, but that's not a big deal. I don't mind that. And then the next thing is I gotta get the staining done so I can get the stove mount up. And my poor daughter's been holding my wood stove and the pipes at her place for months now, so what a sweetheart. I need to get that out of her apartment, and I need to get it in here. The whole reason I went with a wood stove is because in the wintertime I wanted to leave the city and go off grid. That is why I went with a wood stove. I wanted to totally be 100% off grid. So the only purchasing that I need to do for any kind of any of my appliances that I need or what have you would be propane. So years ago, I started buying flats of propane. So I do have a ton of propane flats. So the only time that I might need my propane for heat would be if I'm in town, and if I have this van well insulated, the Mr. Buddy will get us through. But I don't want to be in town. The only reason I'm stuck in town right now is I have that intake manifold to get done, and I got a quote on that, and I was pleasantly surprised because I was thinking maybe around $2,000, depending on how bad it was, the leak was. But they came back with $752, and they said it wasn't that bad. They know what's going on in there. So before I go driving around on the highways and stuff, I need that intake manifold fixed, and I need a good set of winter tires with spikes on it. I do not want to put my home in the ditch. Alberta has a lot of black ice on the highways in the winter time, and also if I'm going down any oil field roads or anything like that in the backcountry, I want to make sure that I have spiked tires. I also have to get some of those tracks so that if I get stuck, I can use the tracks to get out. Maybe throw a bag of kitty litter in my van as well. I'm all over the place. I do apologize. I have so much on my mind. There's so much I want to get done this week. I'd like to say that I'm going to get so much done this week. But I said that before, and then I got sick, so it's been 2 weeks and I haven't really got anything accomplished, but it's okay. It is what it is, right? So we've got the floor to do, the staining to do, so I can get the mount up, and then eventually get this. I can get everything done with the stove without having to cut a hole in the top, because the hole in the top, I just need one more pipe in there, and I think I'll probably do that when I go to Calgary. There's a garage that you can rent, bays down there. There's not one up here in Edmonton. And you can do work on your vehicles. They have a paint booth. So when I do the hole in the ceiling, I want to be able to do the hood of my van and the back doors, paint those up, and I need my carrier painted up, sanded down and painted up a little bit better. It doesn't have to be done, but it is looking a little rusty in spots. So I thought I'd kill 4 birds with one stone, right? So that's the plans, right? They never work out anyway, but that's the plan for that. So I should be able to get that done in February. That's what I'm shooting for. But I can get my stove up way before that, get everything all done, even the inside pipe. So the stain done before I get the mount on and the stove in, this floor, and then the molding done right away, so then I can get everything set up for the curtains as well. And also that is where I'm going to be putting my lighting, is on the molding of around the top of the van and stuff. I've got all my lighting already. So yeah, so those things. And then the only other thing that's driving me nuts is this kitchen cupboard. Like I mentioned before, there was a subscriber that suggested keeping the drawers in, which is a really good idea, but I want the height, and with the drawers you're restricted, and I have 2 long drawers at the bottom and then 2 drawers at the top. So what I want to do is incorporate the top long drawer in with the 2 drawers at the top, so that it will give me the height in that shelf. And I also want a curtain so I can just pull it across. I'm going to have to put some kind of trim on the front of the shelving so things don't slide out. But I just want to move that curtain across and have easy access to everything. And the height, I want the height for taller things like bags of flour and stuff like that, or containers of flour. It gets really old really quick when I'm organized, but you can only be so organized in a small space. So in saying that, if you have everything where you need it to go and everything's built out, then you can function way better and it's not a hassle. right now, living in the van while I'm building it out, you have to move everything, and you have to shift everything here and then shift everything back and then shift, and that becomes a real hassle after a while. It's a deterrent. It really is. There's days you just don't want to deal with it. That's why I went and got a coffee this morning. I just wanted to get on things as quick as I possibly could. I just want to be able to get to a spot where everything is finally done, or at least majority of it. I still have so much to do. I have a roof to put on, or a ceiling to put on, but that's going to wait till the spring. And what else? That's basically all I have left, I think. Then it'll be out the outside stuff, like a carrier on top, and I think pretty much that's all I'm going to be doing as far as that. I've got a solar panel. I do not have an inverter, so there's parts that I have to pick up for my solar. I do have my little fold-out one with my little battery, and right now that's all I need. The only thing that I ever use that for is for charging my phone, and I can charge my phone when I'm driving as well. Otherwise, I have propane for my stove, I have propane for my Mr. Buddy, and as far as the heat goes, I'll have my wood stove. I don't really, as far as I can see right now, I don't need anything else. It's pretty bare bones, off-grid, simplicity. Yeah. So I'm off to the store to get the tape, and then I will be back, and we are going to pound it today to try to get all those windows done. So tomorrow I have another project to work on. That is my plan. Hopefully I can pound out a lot of my build this week, and hopefully I can pound out a lot of videos too. Anyway, hope everyone's doing well, and we will see you really soon. So I got that in. It was a little bit difficult. It's a little bit bunched in one area, but that's okay. It was hard to get such a big piece put in with tape. The tape was grabbing everything because I outlined a majority of it with tape before I put it up. But it's up secured pretty good. Now I went outside for the back ones. I went outside and looked, and they're actually still up there. So I'm gonna get everything, all the other windows done today with tape, and then someday, pretty soon here, I'll just take those Reflectix down and tape the back window ones, but they're actually staying up. So there's the one window. I've got the curtain down, as you can see. It looks a little rough up there. That's why, another reason why I want to put a board up there. Plus, to drill in there and put a curtain rod up would work. But I just thought the wood molding, it's just going to be a piece of wood, would actually give it a little bit more of a nicer finish to everything. So there you have it. There's one mat up. And when I went out and looked in the back too, I will actually go out and take a video of it. You can't see the blue. It's just the silvered kind of tint that's on there. Looks more silver, that's all. So it worked out really well. Okay, well, let's get the other one done. Okay, so I've sealed it all up. It's nice and taped very well. I overlapped it a little bit so it's not right tight to the glass. There's a space there with this Reflectix, so it comes down a little bit. There's the bottom, and then it's right to the very bottom. It's not like right in the window. It's more or less contoured to the frame. But there you have it. There's one window done. Wait, hang on, Willie. He wants to get on the bed. So there are the back windows. We got those done. And I got the valances put up. And those side windows are done the exact same way. So what I did was take the mats, fit them in, totally sealed the edges up with this tape, all weather tape actually, and then put the Reflectix on and sealed up the Reflectix. So I've got 2 layers. It should be cozy warm in there now. So now I've got curtains, garbage, Reflectix, Wilson, garbage, scissors, toilet paper. I've got things everywhere, but gonna do those windows and then those 2 windows, and then I'll be done. I think the hardest ones were those 5-foot long ones. So I'm looking at it in a positive way that these ones are gonna be easier. All right, we'll see you in a little bit. 3M, and let's go over to the English. Industrial strength, and then it says it's all weather. You can use it outside. So I bought 2 of those. I've already gone through 1 roll just for the 2 side windows. So that's 10, 20, roughly 30, 35 feet it gives you for just under 10 bucks. And then this was 12. And it's called Trex. It's basically the same. It says it's all weather somewhere. It says it's all weather. That's French. Easy unwind and tear from fast repairs. But it does say somewhere. I saw it said all weather. All weather. There we go. Works longer. But it's a thicker, like it's wider. It's more tape. And I spent just under $13 for this. So, there you have it. Now, I'm going to take a break for a minute and get out those windows over there. And then those windows there. That should be fun, that one. I have to move the dresser and everything. Okay, we'll see you in a little bit. Those 2 are the last 2 left. So we're getting there. The 2 by the bureau went really quick, so I'm thinking maybe a half an hour and I should have these done. Starting to get dark. Dark. I've got that window left to do. I probably won't take a picture of it tonight because, like I said, it's getting dark. But what I did is I made a separate flap here. So I reinforced everything. I actually put that mat and Reflectix, I sealed them together so it's more solid piece. And then I secured it all in, and then I added this flap to it. So where the tape is going horizontal, I can take this flap, stick a piece of tape to it. Same with down there. And that flap, I can open up the window with this, and then that'll give me enough of an opening of a window to have a draft when I have my stove or my Mr. Buddy heater. So I will redo this one in the morning before I get on. I think I'm gonna do the floor next and the trim. So I will show you again what I did there. It's pretty simple. And I'm gonna conclude this video and get it edited. Probably not even edit. I'm not much of an editing videos, as you probably can tell. Say good night, Wilson. Everybody take care, and thanks for watching, and we will see you tomorrow.